Hello and welcome to another NPC recreation video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. This is where we get some of our favourite or least favourite NPCs that are in the game and we try to recreate them for a player character as closely as humanly possible. If I was to stand here then and ask you, what was the most powerful, the most devious and downright scummy Lalafell that you can think of from this game? You'd probably reply with Telegia Delegi, but no, the first name that some of you probably said is Lolorito. So Lolorito Nanarito, yes, that's his actual name apparently, is a Lalafell. He's the chairman of the East Aldenar Trading Company and owns both Sunsilk Tapestries and as famed aesthetics in Uldar, a true monetarist then and a power figure in Uldar's own government. Scheming, conniving, and generally a bit of an asswipe, Lolorito is the perfect character then to immortalize as a player, so where to actually start? I made a template character in character creation. I will list the attributes and slided, measurements that I did on screen here next to the image, but I spent an hour or so tweaking this to get it as close to some of the reference images that we have online from various screenshots and other cutscenes, and I personally think it's pretty close. The key points really are the blonde hair, the moustache and goatee facial features, and indeed the skin tone. All of those are quite important, which are thankfully very easy to match. So here we are then, here's a low-level potato. We need to get this geared up and, obviously leveled up as well. And boom, with camera trickery and equipping the starting gear once again, I can now tell you that Lolorito is thankfully over the age of level 50, and that's totally not thanks to me grinding away over the weekend. So this first piece of gear that you see equipped here is the helm. This is the main attraction that screams Lolorito at you. Now, as much as it doesn't directly match Lolorito's turban in colour, since unfortunately this is undyeable, this is the only helm as far as I know in the game that's the same design. I've been through various databases and asked numerous people, and I can't find anything similar that has the mask at all. It seems to be the only one. This then is called the Sipani Turban, equipable by a Disciple of Warjobs at level 50 and above. You can actually get this as a drop from Amdapor Keep Dungeon at level 50, from the Demon Wall boss, or from Wanderer's Palace, which is also a level 50 dungeon, from the Giant Bavroy boss, the big pudding guy. It's not a black mask, but it literally works because it's the same model. It's the best we can physically do, and as soon as you equip it on this model here, this Lalafell we made here, it's pretty accurate, isn't it? Let's just say that. For the chest then that I chose, this again will be a bit of a compromise, but here's the Oasis doublet. Costing 3000 MGP from the Gold Saucer Prize Claim 1 vendor, this level 1 and above all classes equipable chest is literally the same design as Lolorito's, but he wears in all of the cutscenes and when he's actually an NPC model in the game. Here's in the pictures that you can see, and in the game has a white inner and a red outer. Well, obviously we can dye the inner pure white, that's the bit that's affected by dye, and that looks really good, but the outer will always be the wrong color. So let's just pretend that his red stuff is in the wash right now, and everyone has a separate set of clothes in real life. It's not too far-fetched to imagine that Lolorito, whilst keeping the same sort of scheme in his wardrobe, he might have different color outfits. He's not going to wear the same thing every day for 5 years unless sweaty potatoes is your idea of a good scent. For the gloves then, this is actually the easy bit. I equipped the felt half gloves, they're pretty easy to match. Dyed those soot black, that's pretty much accurate. These are usable by all classes level 48 and above, and they're a really basic level 45 Weaver recipe as well. Alright, so for the legs and boots finally. For the legs, I really wanted to make sure I went for something that would suit, but it was really difficult to see. Really wasn't sure what to go for. It's a little bit cloudy as to what he actually wears, so I equipped the Tantalus breeches and dyed them off-hard blue, a nice sort of deep blue, not too dark but not too bright either. There really isn't that much to go off with from the legs. And it's actually been seen in both red and blue bottoms, depending on where you see it, depending if that's in a cutscene or in the game or on a quest. There are some quite significant color differences, but they're always very much, hidden under that Oasis doublet anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. And finally, I went with the Sipahi Krakows. These are the level 50 Disciple of War boots, and they're from Wanderer's Palace, Giant Bavroy, or the Demon Wall in Amdapor. Keep at level 50 once again, much like the helm. It's basically part of the same set and drops from the same bosses. These are pretty much the ones he uses as far as I could tell from the reference images that we have. In short, pun intended, I think this is actually quite accurate to Lolorito, and makes for a decent lookalike at least. The colours may differ slightly, but that's not something we can just get around, unfortunately. I think in principle it works quite well and does actually help to recreate a truly maniacal, deplorable, money-grubbing potato in all of his glory. However, there is one thing missing. Ah, there we go. Nothing is more suiting to this character than a poop-eating grin. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this, let me know below. Perhaps you want me to recreate another character. I'm open to many other suggestions, and if you leave me a comment, I might consider making those in future versions of this video format. Thank you all kindly for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.